Hello, Primary 2. Thank you for the work you've been doing on drawing and coloring the flags that are symbols of the many countries that make up our world. Let's focus on just one flag right now, and that's our flag of the United States of America. And go ahead and say our pledges, if you'd please stand. Salute and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now our state flag. Salute and pledge. I salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma. Its symbols of peace unite all people. Yesterday, we looked at the flags of Japan, China, and India. Those countries are all located on the continent of Asia. And remember that Asia is the largest in area, meaning the land that it covers, the area it covers, and the most populous of all the continents. And that word populous means it has the most people living there. So today, let's take a look at the second largest continent. Also second largest in area, the land it covers, and the second most populous, meaning it has the second largest population, the second most people of all the continents of the world, and that is Africa. When you hear the word Africa, what comes to mind? Just close your eyes for a moment and just think about Africa, and what vision do you have? I immediately think of the desert and beautiful exotic animals. I think it would be fun to go on a camera safari in Africa. I would never want to harm any of the animals, but I'd love to take photos of them. Some of the animals found on the continent of Africa are giraffes, lions, cheetahs, black rhinos, African elephants, and many more. Let's take a closer look at this map of Africa. There are 54 countries on the continent of Africa, and way out here in the Indian Ocean is the island of Madagascar. I bet you've heard of that. The two most popular tourist destinations in Africa are down here in South Africa, along the coast. And then way up here, Morocco is also a popular tourist destination. We also learned earlier in the year that what river is it that runs through Egypt and all through Africa? The longest river in the world, and that's the Nile River. And here's Egypt that we studied earlier this year, up in the northern part of the continent. Some of the landmarks of Africa are Victoria Falls, very similar to our Niagara Falls. That's on the border of the United States and Canada, but this is Victoria Falls in Zambia and Zimbabwe. The Cape of Good Hope, this is down in South Africa. I showed you where South Africa is down on the coast, and the reason that so many people want to visit it, look at that beautiful water. Popular tourist destination. And then Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. And this is made of 3 volcanic cones, and it again is a popular place for hiking and just a big tourist attraction. Mount Kilimanjaro. This is the flag of Morocco. We had mentioned earlier this week that we go through a lot of red and blue when you are drawing and coloring these flags. And just 2 colors in the flag of Morocco, a solid red background with that green star. And I love the flag of South Africa. Very colorful. Kind of an unusual design. Have most of the primary colors with the addition of black in it. And the way we say hello in South Africa is sawubona, sawubona. And goodbye, ambakali. So now that we've explored Australia, North America, South America, Asia, and Africa, that's 5 continents. How many more do we have to go? 2 more. There are 7 continents of the world. And the 2 left to explore are Europe and Antarctica that we'll be looking at later this week. So on Tuesday, you did a sunflower craft with Mrs. Hovanesian. So where do sunflowers grow? They are mostly natural to North America and a few in South America. There's others found on other continents, but they're not native to that area, meaning that they don't naturally grow there. I've got a little chart I want to share with you about how a sunflower grows. A sunflower grows from a seed into a flower during its life cycle. So the first thing that happens is plant that little tiny seed. Pretty soon a shoot comes up out of the ground. And it's growing quickly, and then there's a bud, a flower bud. And then it's in full bloom. And then the seeds start to fall. So what do we need to grow a plant? I know that you've talked about this some in science with Dr. Hamby. We've talked about growing plants in our classroom. But there's 6 things that plants need in order to grow. Soil, they need good dirt to grow in. They need water. They need food, sunlight, air, and they need space to grow. These sunflowers get really, really big, so you wouldn't want them to be too close together. They would smother one another out. I picked up a few packets of sunflower seeds the last time I was at the store. Sunflowers is one of my very favorites, and I'm planning to plant these in my backyard, hoping I have a nice crop of sunflowers. And sunflowers are not only yellow, they're also different shades of orange, almost a dark red sunflower. And I have some other facts that I want to share with you about sunflowers. A sunflower can be from 3 feet to 18 feet in height. That's as tall as my very tall ceiling here. It is one of the fastest growing plants. It can be at its full height in just 6 months after planting the seed. The head of the cauliflower has up to 2,000 tiny flowers called florets that turn into seeds after they're pollinated. Young sunflower plants will turn their heads toward the sun. I remember driving through near a field of sunflowers in South Dakota, and all the heads of those sunflower plants turn toward that bright sunshine, and then they would turn away from it later. Something really unusual and interesting about sunflowers. The sunflower is the state flower of our bordering state of Kansas. Sunflowers can be used for food. Sunflower seeds are used in a lot of different dishes. Some people just like to eat sunflower seeds by themselves. Sunflower oil is used in cooking. And a sunflower can grow as an annual, meaning you plant it and it grows that year and goes away, or there's a perennial sunflower plant that means it will come back for at least 3 years. You don't have to replant every year. So those are some fun facts about sunflowers. I hope you enjoyed making the sunflower craft with Mrs. Hovhannissian. Those were very cute. Let's go ahead and take out your writing word journal. And we're going to add the word sunflower. So turn to the letter S. And sunflower is a compound word. Remember that a compound word is 2 words added together that make a brand new word. Sun plus flower gives us the word sunflower. We're also going to add to our booklet today the word ridiculous. Ridiculous. Lots of letters in the word ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how many letters there are. R-I-D-I-C-U-L-O-U-S. You turn to the letter R and add ridiculous. So one last look at that. R-I-D-I-C-U-L-O-U-S. And now let's see what ridiculous means. Something that's very silly is ridiculous. It would be ridiculous to wear your pajamas to school. Well, guess what? You guys are going to wear your pajamas to school on Thursday. That is on our schedule for our Thursday Zoom lunch, is to wear your pajamas and have breakfast for lunch. Which of these things are ridiculous ways to behave? Washing your hands before you eat? No, that's a good way to behave. Walking backwards all day long? That'd be kind of silly and ridiculous. Wearing your shoes on the wrong feet? Kind of silly. Zipping your jacket when it's cold? No, that's not ridiculous. So the word ridiculous describes something. The part of speech that describes a noun, describes a person, a place, or a thing, is an adjective. So ridiculous is an adjective. It's a word that describes. And now we're going to make our way over to the math table. We'll start down there with the pennies. And do coins look the same on both sides? No, they don't. They're different on the front and the back. We call it heads or tails. And here we have the front and the back of a penny. We know that a penny is worth 1 cent. So let's see how much these pennies are worth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cents. We have 2 ways of writing: the dollar sign, a 0 to hold the dollar's place, a decimal point, 0, 6. 6 cents, written 2 different ways. We know that a nickel is worth 5 cents. And here's our 5 counting strip. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nickels. So let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we have 30 cents in nickels. Dimes are worth 10 cents each, and I see 6 dimes. Here's our 10 counting strip. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 cents in dimes. And then our quarters. A quarter is worth 25 cents, and I see 6 quarters. 25, 50, 75, $1, $1.25, $1.50 in quarters, or 150 cents. So what do we notice about these different numbers? Well, different coins have different values. 6 pennies is only worth 6 cents, but 6 quarters is worth $1.50. Let's look at quickly reviewing our mixed numbers and our measuring. This line segment measures 3.5 inches. So remember, a mixed number is a whole number, the whole number 3, and then there's just a half of an inch. So a whole number and a fraction equals a mixed number. Let's measure this one. 5.5 inches. 5 is the whole number, 5 whole inches, and then a half of an inch. And our last one, let's practice a little bit with our doggy biscuits. We're going to do an addition problem and a multiplication problem. I see 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 3, so if we skip count, we have 3, 6, 9, 12. Or a shortcut, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 groups with 3 in each group. 3, 6, 9, 12. We have the same answer. Didn't have to write as much when we did the multiplication problem. And I believe we're going to stop there for today. So goodbye for now.